Hey guys, Deanna here with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Support for Label Free Podcast is brought to you by Impression Derma, who has experienced increased exposure to HEV light over the last year and a half. I know I have. If you don't know what HEV light is, let me educate you. HEV light is emitted from your phone, tablet, and computer that penetrates deep into the skin, which can lead to wrinkles and increased harm, leaving permanent damage. I have found a solution that protects you from those harmful lights. Let me introduce you to Impression Derma Let's Face It. This product will increase collagen, promote hydration, improve elasticity, halt premature aging, and shield against those free radicals, all by using these key ingredients: algae, buriti oil, bamboo extract, raspberry seed oil, bloom light, plus many others that are sustainably sourced and produced as well as ethically traded. Please head to impressionderma.com and use code labelfree20 for 20% off. Again, please head to impressionderma.com and use code labelfree20 for 20% off. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. I have a very cool guest. She's joining us all the way from the UK, so it's very early for me. It's in the afternoon for her. We made it work, though. She is a board game and card game enthusiast. Her and her husband, they created, and she's the owner of the Better Topics card game for couples. Please welcome Deanna Indries. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
All right. Welcome,
Yes.
Deanna. It's very close to my name. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I'm really, really excited to be here. So yes, as you said, I am a card game and board game enthusiast, meaning I have so many games at home. And about a year ago, together with my husband, we have created the Better Topics card game because we basically wanted to help couples, work on their communication, but also still have a lot of fun by playing a game.
Sure. And I think that's important, and that's definitely a very unique way to go about helping people learn how to communicate better. So where does this stem from? Does this stem from something that you guys experience in your own relationship?
Well, it was actually a combination of things that led us to this great idea. Now, luckily, both me and Robert, my husband, we do talk a lot and do tend to share a lot of things with each other. But we've got to this point from going through so many relationships before where that wasn't the case. And because we both know what it means not to talk about issues that are in a relationship and the important thing in a relationship, we didn't want to get there with our relationship either. So that's why we do tend to talk with each other. But we do realize that so many people don't.
Yeah.
And that they should, because obviously that leads to great relationships. That we thought, we're gonna give them an exact tool that they can use with questions, that they don't have to think about what to ask. They don't have to think how to ask it, basically. They just can get the game and start playing and have those much needed deep conversations that any great relationship needs.
Yeah, I think communication is very important in any relationship, whether it's someone at work, with your friends, your family, and most definitely with your significant other. So can you tell us how you created the game? Well, tell us a little bit about it. I'm curious.
So, as I mentioned, we do have a lot of board games at home, and it's one of our favorite pastime to do on our weekly date night. And we've got so many so-called card games for couples, because we said, why not let's, play a game and also improve our relationship, which for
Sure.
us, I thought, that's a brilliant idea. But we were quite disappointed to find that many of the card games that we got weren't really a game. They were just one-off questions printed on a piece of paper, which was quite disappointing. And also, if you've been together with someone for a few years, so many of those questions weren't even relevant anymore.
Right. Right.
I told my husband, if after living for years with me, he doesn't know how much I love chocolate, we have such a big issue that any of these cards could not fix for us. You see, so that's why we thought, okay, these are not games. What if we create a game, you know.
Yeah.
And then we spent a lot of time on curating a lot of questions, on making them repeatable. So basically, people can play the game regularly because although the questions are the same, the answers will always change
Right.
based on
Sure.
wherever they lived, you know, over the past week or so, or whatever plans they have in the future together. So it still has like new elements to it every week because, as I said, the answers change. And after that, you know, we've added a lot of game-like elements to it. So we have things like reverse the question. You know, if it's like a really good question that your partner asked you, but you would rather have them answer it, you can also use the card reverse the question and get them to answer it.
I like that.
Or if it's you know, a very difficult question and you would rather just not answer it, you can also cancel it. Or if, you know, your partner has given you an answer but you want more details, you can ask for more details if obviously you have that card in hand.
Yeah. I love that. See, I've never like you're the second person I've had on my show that has created a game. And I think that is so cool because I never and I like to play games. I do, but I never in a million years would think like, hey, I'm gonna create a game. I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, it's been so long since I've
Well,
actually sat down and played one, but like that's really I just think that's so fascinating.
it is. It's been quite a process,
Sure.
a massive learning process for me because my background is in something totally different. My husband's background is in something totally different. So this was so new for both of us. But with a lot of great communication, we pulled it through. We launched the game, and we have actually recently also launched an app version of it as well.
Very cool. Good for you guys. Yeah, before we started recording, you said that you actually studied law. So like what a
Yes,
shift. And then you were in the corporate world in the UK.
yes, exactly. So I graduated law, and straight after university, I went to the UK. And I started working in the national health system as a manager at one of the biggest hospitals in the country. And I worked there for about 7 to 8 years almost when I left, which was last year when the pandemic started. Because we thought this is the best time to actually launch the game. We were still working on it. We were still trying to, you know, put down like the last details of it and everything. But then when the pandemic hit, I was like, oh my God, so many people are literally locked down with their partners right
Yeah.
now, and they would actually need this game because they don't even know where to start talking with their partner, you know, many of them. So I said, this could actually save so many marriages and relationships. So yeah, we just launched it, and we started with a Kickstarter campaign, which was successful. And after that, you know, we were working on the app. So a year later, have managed to finally officially launch that as well.
That is awesome. So from start to finish, how long did it take you to create and launch the game?
Well, we were working on it for over 6 months in
Okay.
creating the questions, the modifiers, the designs for it, you know, and everything that goes with it. So I would say close to a year, maybe, from since the idea first started
Uh-huh.
to actually launching it with the Kickstarter campaign.
What is good, everyone? Deanna here with Label Free Podcast. Autumn is in the air, the pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your man doesn't carve his pants pumpkins when he's grooming, if you know what I mean. Make sure he's keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th edition performance package. Ladies, do we really want to cuddle up with a dude who isn't trimmed? I know I don't. My man's keeping it tight. Get him to take the leap into fall with Manscaped. Help him join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code LabelFree20. Again, go to manscaped.com and use the code LabelFree20 for 20% off and free shipping. Very cool. I did a Kickstarter campaign, and that I mean, that's challenging. So you were able to get it
Yes,
successful. I see you had backers from
yes,
all over the world, USA to Japan, Europe, and Australia. How did you manage that?
yes.
Were you a featured Kickstarter?
No, we weren't featured Kickstarter. Everything was through our own efforts. I mean, I know there are companies that usually help with the marketing of your Kickstarter campaign and all of that. We actually found out about those after we launched, which was a bit late, apparently. So it was through our efforts, really. We've emailed everyone we knew, both me and my husband. It was like thousands and thousands of emails that we've sent out. And we've reached out literally to everyone we knew, literally everyone. There wasn't one person that we knew and we haven't reached out to. And yes, that's how we. And then there were some from the Kickstarter campaign form as well, that they liked the game and they decided, sorry, to back us because they really, really enjoy the game and the idea.
Do you have like the game there by you that you could show us?
Yes.
Let's see it.
So this is how the physical card game looks like.
Okay. Very cool. And can you like pick a card and just like read it, show it to us and read it?
Yeah. So there are quite 120 cards. There are quite many.
Nice.
It is a handful, literally.
I love it.
So let's see. Oh yeah. So this is how they actually look, and we have the question. We have a type of question. So
I like that. What is something I said
this is a curiosity.
What is something that I said recently that you would prefer I say differently? That's a great question for a relationship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. There are so many great questions in it, and I don't want to scare people off. They're not all of them very deep. There are some very light ones as well in it.
Yeah.
But it varies, because I think people should discuss about important things as well, and the lighter ones as well. Why not?
Yeah, I totally agree. And now, so like, how do you go about finding someone to actually make the game for you? Was that a hard task?
It was in the beginning because it's quite daunting, and there are a lot, especially when you're on a Kickstarter platform. There are so many people reaching out to you, and you don't really know which one of them are actually good or not. So we had a friend helping us actually with finding the best printer and having a good price as well, because that counts too.
Sure.
But also not to compromise on the quality of the cards themselves and on the colors and the print quality and the boxes and all of that. So we actually had this company suggested to us by a friend, and even so we still asked them give us some samples before we actually decided on going forward with them or not. And because we liked the samples very much, and the colors were very vibrant and the exact color match that we wanted and all of that, we decided to go with them.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So you went from being in the corporate world to now an entrepreneur, and this is all you do is the card game full time now?
Yes.
That is exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is. It's been a massive shift. And in corporate, you're used to doing one certain thing all day, basically. I mean, even as a manager, you have like your work cut out, and that's what you do day in, day out. But when you're an entrepreneur, especially when your company is kind of small and you're the only one in it, basically doing all the work, you do tend to learn a lot of things. And it's just exciting because I got to be as creative as I wanted. And because in my normal corporate job, I couldn't be, as creative as I wanted. I couldn't implement all the things that I wanted because, there are regulations, there are rules. You have to obey rules that are passed down to you, basically. Whereas when it's your own, you can be as creative as you like.
Yeah, this is very true. I love it. Yeah, I love hearing people that have moved from the corporate world into becoming an entrepreneur and basically living their dreams. Is your husband, is he working still, or is he 100% on the card game too?
He is working. He has his own companies to run, but once in a while he does lend me a hand as well when I need some guidance.
Well, that's good. Yeah, he better, or else you're gonna whip out that card game and be like, we gotta talk.
Yes.
So where can people find the game?
So the game can be found on Amazon, UK, US, Australia, and soon Canada as well. And the app can be also downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store as well. Also, for those of your listeners who would want to download the game, if they use the code labelfree10, they get the first free month off.
Label free 10?
Yes.
First free month. All right. That's good to know. Guys, take advantage. If you're in a relationship, you want to improve your communication skills, go download the app for Better Topics. Is it Better Topics card game?
It's Better Topics. They can find it like that.
Oh, awesome. And you put in the code label free 10, you get a free month. Like, why not? Check that out. Before I start wrapping things up, can you please plug all your links where people can find you?
Sure. So if they want to find out more about what I do, everything is at bettertopics.com. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Every platform, we're there.
Awesome. All right. And I will make sure to put all those links in the show notes. And before I say goodbye, I always like to ask my guests, to offer any last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to share with the audience today?
I would just to remind people that we don't have to have mediocre relationships. We can make them great. And great relationships are not just found, they are created. So, with a bit of work, everyone can have a great relationship. And again, that work doesn't have to be tedious. It can also be fun. Hence why we created the game, to show people that it is also fun to work on your relationship. Why not?
I love that. That was such great advice. My fiance and I are going to have to download this game and play it a little bit on our phones because we're busy. We're working like crazy. But Deanna, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me all the way around the world on a Sunday. Yes, you guys, we are recording on a Sunday. We are committed to what we do. You are an absolute joy. Congratulations on all your success. And keep us posted. I think maybe it feels like there might be more ahead for you guys. Are you guys talking about another game or thinking about another one?
We might. We are thinking of doing the Better Topics version of parents and children, and then grandparents and grandchildren later on. But right now we are focusing on couples first, because if the couple is happy, if the parents are happy, then they're more likely to raise happier children even.
I like that. I think that would be a really great game. That would be a bestseller. But all right, well, keep us posted. We'll have to have you back if you do launch that, so we can share it with the audience. But thank you very much for being a guest today. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Kuempel of Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, follow, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.